Hi there, I'm Ken, and I'm an Ableton certified trainer. Live 11 has been announced and should be coming soon. I want to show you two of the new features in a bit of an unconventional manner. I think Live is a great improvisational tool and can be creatively used in cinematic music. I'd like to show you two of the new features, MIDI scale mode and the probability editor. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a new clip on my strings track. Here you can see a button to engage scale mode. You can see the root is set to C with a major scale. The lanes in the MIDI note editor are also colored to match the set scale. Let's change the scale. Try maybe D minor. You can see that the lanes have changed to match. If you don't like the accidental that's being shown in the note ruler, you can right-click on the piano roll to force change it to a sharp or flat. Let's try a different scale. There is a button, Fold to Scale, that will only show you the lanes of notes in the selected scale. This makes it really easy to create an ostinato or riff. First, I'll change the length of this clip to 4 bars. I'll also change my grid resolution to eighth notes. Using B for brush, I'm going to brush in eighth notes pretty randomly. I don't have to do just a single line. I can also add in some other notes to give it some color. Maybe in sort of a repeating pattern here. To give it that riff feeling, I'll copy it over to the other 2 bars, and we'll see what that sounds like. Well, that's kind of neat, but one thing about it is that all the velocities are the same at the moment. There is a velocity editor that we can open, and all the notes here have a velocity of somewhere around 96. There is a randomize button that we can press. Right now, the range of randomization is set to 127. Giving the button a press, we can see that the range of randomization can be quite extreme. So let's undo that and set the range of randomization to something lower. That makes it much more musical. Another thing we could do is command click on the notes we want to affect and drag up or down and create a deviation range. The benefit of this is that every time the clip loops, the deviation will be calculated again, and the velocities will be different every time. This type of random behavior is really useful when it comes to using loops. Let's look at a track that has a drum loop on it. This particular instrument has about 20 or so loops mapped to different keys. Just using 2 bars for now, I'll copy the MIDI information to the other notes so that all the loops will trigger at the same time. So now when I trigger the clip, they'll all play. Pretty messy. So one of the new functions in Live 11 is the probability editor. The probability editor has its own dedicated hide show button. Selecting all the MIDI notes in the clip, we can see that the chance of them playing when launched are all 100%. But we can lower that probability, let's say to about 1 in 3 chance of playing when launched. Let's give that a shot. What it should do is give us a different texture of loops every 2 bars. For even more variation, we can go back to our ostinato, select all the notes, and we can change their probability of playing. Let's have a listen. Where things can get more interesting is when we set a different scale to a different clip. For reference, let's rename this clip D Hirajashi. Launching another clip with a different scale will send that scale mode to the push. I also have a third track here with this note, and I've set its probability to something lower. Therefore, this transitional hit may or may not occur every 2 bars. We're almost there. I just want to give our project a bit of a tonal center, and on the 4th track, I've got a bass arpeggio. I'll set this to the key of D for this clip, and another clip I'll set to A. Looking across the scene, this will correspond with the D and A scales and the string instrument. And now I'm ready to perform with the Push 2. When I launch a clip with scale mode engaged, the push will conform to the set scale. Improvising in scale mode with the Push 2 may help to inspire you in different creative directions, especially by experimenting in different scales. Pretty different. Well, I hope that was helpful in terms of showing you how Live could be a great creative tool and starting point in creating cinematic music. If you set the scale to a blues scale, for example, it would also be a great inspiration in a jazz setting. I did try to set follow actions to some of the clips so that the chord changes would follow along automatically with a song, but for some reason I couldn't get that going. Hopefully that'll be implemented in the future. At any rate, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.